Hello RVTV viewers, Ron from RV Warehouse, and this weekend the family and I have hooked the caravan on and we're heading up the lovely Tiawa Beach, otherwise known as Double Island Point, just north of Noosa North Shore. So I wanted to give you an insight into what this place is and how nice it is to come caravanning if you're able to come off the grid. So follow us this weekend, we're going to show you around. I hope you enjoy it. So we found a nice site here, nice and flat, lots of grass, so you're not walking through as much sand and not dragging it through the van. And as you may have seen, coming in on these dunes, there's a lot of them that are basically straight off the sand. So there's no real challenge with getting up from the beach onto the dune. Not like that for all sites obviously, but this will suit us perfectly for a caravan site. And we're about to set up camp and get stuck into it. Oh, smell that pumpkin soup. Okay, today we're going to go for a bit of a drive around Double Island Point in the area and check out a few things you can come and look at when you're up this way. We're going to go visit the point itself, Double Island, and understand why it got named Double Island Point. They've also got a cliff area called Red Canyon, which is also cool to check out. The kids like running up through there and crawling through the crevices. And we'll take you through to the lagoon, which is on the other side, the northern side of the point, which is a nice little protected area where you can go and spend the day up there amongst some really nice scenery and calm conditions. And it's a beautiful spot. So we'll show you up through there, and then we'll take you up through to Rainbow Beach, which is just north of Double Island, and check out a little township there. And we'll come home what they call the freshwater track, which is the alternative way of coming from Double Island through to Rainbow if the point isn't passable. So jump in, we'll go for a look. So I've just got up to the point of Double Island Point, and you can see here that you'll notice that there's a double point going on, and where the Double Island come from my understanding, was years ago when the merchant vessels and shipping traffic was further out off the coast, they would use their landmarks to spot where they were, and it always deceived them because they believed that it looked like there was two islands, therefore Double Island Point was created. But obviously it's just the changing heights in that point there, which obviously from a distance out from the ocean obviously just confused them a little bit. But it's a nice little area up through there. You can do a lot of fishing and carrying on up there, which is really nice to enjoy. Though obviously when a southeasterly blows through here, it just smacks into that point. It's really unpleasant to sit. So we'll now go through the inland track that spits you out onto the north side, which is the lagoon. Let's go check it out. Okay, now those familiar with driving on the beach and having to come up off the beach back onto the main dune or main land, heading back there's always a cutting, and you know, sometimes obviously with the amount of traffic and stuff that occurs, you know, it gets really soft sand and chewed up a lot, and it's always a challenge sometimes for people to come from the hard stuff up onto the dune and onto the soft stuff. And I know myself, many years we've sat on some of these cuttings and watched cars come through and bog out and attempt to get through. So we're about to hit this one, and mate, my approach always when I hit a cutting is to ensure that you've got your tyres are going to be deflated, 20 psi, 18 psi, nice and flat, so it really balloons the tyre out, so it gets more surface area connected to the sand, which gives you more traction and more ability to drive. The other thing I like to do is ensure that I'll check it out first, and I'll go and see what lines have already been created from other people who have gone through, and I'll always try and hit a set of existing tracks, because obviously the sand's a little bit more compact there, and but also you know, keep your revs up. The minute you hear your motor starting to die on the revs, you've got to either come back a gear quickly so you don't stop, and keep those revs up to keep the wheels moving, because as soon as you lose revs, mate, you're stopped. My other advice is, if you stop with the revs, stop with everything, because if you sat there and trying to rev, it would just dig you down, and that's going to make it harder for you to get out. So as you approach a cutting, pick two lines, keep your revs up. The minute you can hear your revs starting to die out, you need to make a decision to smack another gear down low quickly, or just stop, put it in reverse and come straight back out the way, and get more of a run up next time. Keep your momentum up, keep your revs up, and you should be right. But anyway, we're about to hit this one, so see how we go. So it's in this lagoon area. It's just, as you can see, plenty of people line up their four-wheel drive, spend the whole day up here. You know, it's nice and calm, wind protected, so it's cool. But this, you'll notice the big cliff faces here with all the different colours. This is where it gets its name, Rainbow Beach. As they obviously look at all the colours of the sands, and there are all these different minerals and stuff coming through the sand that stain it a certain colour, and hence the reason they call it Rainbow Beach. So, or the coloured sands, as others call it. And you know, from time to time, you know, if you come up here, bring a little glass jar and collect all the different colours of sands that there is, and layer it up into a glass and keep it as a little memento. Not sure if you can do that. Don't mention it to any parks and wildlife, but you know, I'm sure plenty of it here. And you won't be going to excavate the thing too hard. So, but it's a beautiful scene, and you follow this right around. There's a place here they call the Rocks, which is notorious for four-wheel drives trying to pass through the rocks to get to the township, and you can only really get past it on the very dead of low, or an hour or so each side of dead of low. But many people have tried outside of that time and found themselves either stuck or sunk, or you know, taken over by the sea. But we're going to go check up there and see if we can get past and take you through the rainbow itself. Okay, we've just arrived at the Rocks, and because we're here at low tide, there's plenty of room to get past, so therefore no risk whatsoever of getting caught here. But this little section we're at right now, there's actually a lot more sand here than normal, and So therefore, even on a high tide, the high tide smashes straight up into the rock faces themselves, so you definitely can't drive past. But it's that in between high and low where it starts to wash up onto this section here. People take their luck and take their chances of getting through the water and can come a gutser. So I know there's a Facebook page called I Got Fogged at Inskip Point, with plenty of examples of people who get caught here. So if you're interested, go and check that Facebook page out. But today we're through with no problems. We'll go up into Rainbow and check it out. So we've just hit the freshwater track or freshwater road, which is taking us through to back onto the east coast, back on Double Island. And this track in particular can get very corrugated, and it can be very hard on all your gear. So just make sure that you've got a spare tyre just in case you do a puncture or anything. But it takes you through some wonderful forestry as well, and some really nice lush rainforest. And you can actually feel like most of the time you go to rainforest and in forestry, the temperature just drops, obviously because of we're in where we are. So it's a beautiful drive. But just take your time coming through here. You hit it with too much speed, you're at risk of having an accident with someone else coming out of the way, or just putting the vehicle through too much. But yeah, enjoy the ride. Okay, so this area up here at the end of the freshwater track, just before we get back onto the beach, is freshwater day use area, and here's where you can come up and visit and use. They have some toilet facilities here. There's a place for you to empty your toilet cassettes, refill on fresh water if you need to, with also barbecues and sitting picnic areas for you to enjoy. So great little spot up here to come and just get away from the camp for a couple of hours and refresh and have some fun and get rid of the toilet if you need to. So freshwater day camp area or day use area, it's well worth visiting. What do you think of Red Canyon?
Awesome.
Awesome?
Yep.
So that concludes our trip to Double Island for another time. I hope you got some value out of what we put together for you, and one day hopefully you guys can come up and enjoy what we love as well. If you got some value out of this video, please subscribe to our channel. We'll encourage us to do more. Hit a like if you could too, please. That just does wonders for the YouTube algorithm. But look, we've had a great time. Thanks for coming along with us, and we'll see you next time.